We used the Ohio State Supreme Court guidelines when it comes to courthouse security. So there's a lot of exterior doors. There's only one entrance and exit. Okay, that's for security purposes. There's only one other door that can be used. This can be used by judges, magistrates, and any law enforcement that's escorting prisoners. When you come into the courthouse, personal items will go in these lockers. It will be a cell phone free environment. So if you're here and you have to enter a courtroom, you will not be permitted to have a cell phone, computer, laptop, etc. They will be locked up here. And as we come in through security, this will be the security entrance. It is going to be a secure building. Unless you have an ID badge, you will participate in security. We will have metal detection and bag x-ray detection. So as we get to the lower level here, this is the ground floor of the courthouse. Previously, when you walked into this level, there were multiple different floors and different levels. So when we renovated, we made sure it's all one level now. It's all accessible, handicap accessibility. It's all up to code, but this is the municipal court level. Municipal court, the speeding tickets, New Lexington. If you get arrested by an LPD, you'll go through muni court, things along that line. So this is Judge Cannon. You guys know Judge Cannon, I'm sure. So this is his court.
Mr. Judge.
How we doing?
What is the purpose of today's event here at the courthouse?
Well, today is the culmination of over 2 years of work on renovating the Perry County Courthouse. The courthouse has been vacated now for pushing 3 years, 2.5, 3 years. So it's finally time to get moved back in, and we're doing a big celebration today of re-entering the courthouse. It kind of coincides too with the America 250 anniversary coming up next year, and I believe we're tying that in today a little bit. But it's opening up to have the public and everybody come view the courthouse because there's a lot of money spent on this. So this is the taxpayers' money at work on renovating this. It's a very large project, expensive project. So we want everybody to come see what transpired in the courthouse. And there's been major changes, especially to our floor here on the basement. It looks almost unrecognizable to where it was 3 years ago. And then the courtrooms upstairs have been renovated. They're beautiful. And there's a little more room upstairs, different spaces. It is only a courthouse now, as in all 3 courts are all housed in the courthouse. The recorder, treasurer, and auditor have all been moved down to the administration building. They're no longer in the courthouse. So this is truly a courthouse now, and courthouse only. So today's just a chance for everybody to come out and see the work that was done in the courthouse, because it was a long project. And I think
awesome.
Everybody's excited to get back into the courthouse too. Yeah.
What were the changes that you have made in this new building?
So some of the biggest changes were there was a new elevator shaft had to be cut. So the elevator is not, we previously had an elevator, but now the elevator is in a completely different location than what it was, and it was brand new and had to have a shaft cut. Also, we had to have a back stairway cut all the way from the ground floor, which we're on now, up to the bell tower. So now you can actually traverse all the way to the top of the courthouse, so to speak, on the back staircase, which is also operates, I believe, as a fire escape. It was a lot of code enforcement type, or I don't say code enforcement, but the courthouse previously was not necessarily up to code. So there's some changes made in that sense. And I think the other biggest change, which maybe discussed, was everything now is a court. We have 4 courthouses, or 4 courtrooms, excuse me, in the courthouse. We have a municipal courtroom, we have a common police courtroom, we have a probate juvenile courtroom, and we also have a magistrate courtroom on the first floor, which would be the middle floor. It's kind of funny. We're ground floor, first floor, second floor. So it's really not 1, 2, 3. It's ground, first, second. So there's an additional courtroom now in the building, and those are some of the biggest differences. The top, the attic, the bell tower, whatever you want to call it, it's kind of been completely renovated. You can actually traverse up there, access it now. That really wasn't the case prior to. And then again, like I said, the entire the ground floor here was completely renovated. It looks nothing like it did prior to the renovation.
This is the municipal courtroom. The municipal court's one of the smaller courts. Don't need a lot of space for municipal court. They do have some gallery seating, jury seating, attorneys, and of course judge. this was gonna be a wall, and it was gonna be a little bit of a wasted space. We found some really cool, interesting artifacts. So some of the artifacts we found, we made a display case and we put it in here. So a lot of old court documents. And if you'll notice, there's a very famous name on this court document that we've highlighted. And his name's Phil Sheridan. And this concrete apparatus here that you see is a finial. It was actually from the very top of the courthouse spire. The first floor is home to juvenile and probate court. This is my favorite hallway in the whole courthouse. So come on in and look down the hallway. And this was a complete restoration from 1887. This is how it looked when they built it in 1887. All the different intricate details on the chandelier and the moldings. It's just incredible what they did in here. This is original floor. We found it under the carpet of the courthouse, and the original floor, I mean, we thought it looked really cool, so we kept it. Why tear it up? It's original. We wanted to keep as much original works as possible, so we kept the floor. We wanted to present an 1887 courthouse by look, but a completely modern building, which is what this is. Everything in here is completely up to date and modern. Looks like it's from 1887, function like it's 2025. So at this end, these are the offices for the magistrate clerk's office and the probate clerk's office. This door will not be used by the public, again, because we're using Ohio State Supreme Court guidelines, but it's the grand steps off Main Street. We will have them open today for the open house, but this is my favorite picture in the building, is when you look back in here from this direction. This right here is something cool Judge Cooperrider kept, and she's been taken in her care, that's still in existence. This is the original juvenile court judge bench. So this has been here for 150 years. So, and it still survives.
I'm Judge Cooperrider. I'm the probate juvenile court judge for Perry County.
And how did you help with the remodeling of the courthouse?
We helped design it, and we designed it for what we felt the public would need, for as courtrooms, and we want the public to feel welcome here. It is their house, and we wanted also to preserve the history. So I worked very closely with the architects and the commissioners.
What do you think the biggest difference is on how it will be impacting our community?
I think it's a place that people will be proud of. Not that they weren't proud of the other courthouse, but this is a state-of-the-art courthouse, and it's their house. It doesn't matter how fancy things are, it's what you do inside that courtroom, to me.
Okay, thank you, Judge Cooperrider.
This is the magistrate courtroom. It's also the old treasurer's office. Well, as you can see, this giant safe, we're not exactly sure how they got that in the building 150 years ago, but they did. Frankly, we didn't know how we were gonna get it out, and we thought it just kind of looked cool sitting in here, so we left it. And it's still functional to this day. It's a pretty unique piece, and we thought it's just kind of cool to leave in a courtroom, so we left it. So one of the interesting fun facts about the floor that you're walking on is this floor is very old, and they didn't have replacement pieces for the floor. And it's noticeable when you get up here that you'll notice they used whatever they could to fill the spots where a tile would come up. And if you look around while you're walking up here, you'll see little squares that are actually wood, where they, 100 years ago, they'd put wood in just so it wasn't a hole or divot, and we left them. We left them all. We thought it was kind of a unique piece. We just refinished them and left them. This is a common plea courtroom. This is the grand courtroom. Common plea courtroom is the most serious court. If you end up in this court on the opposite side of law enforcement, it's really bad. So don't do that. This is Judge Tina Boyer's courtroom. So this is the grand common plea courtroom, and it's pretty beautiful. All the moldings you see on the wall are remolds. We took the old ones off and created forms, and then they actually made them out of plaster and then put them back on the wall. The actual engineering and planning started in 2017. We started the actual rehabilitation in the summer of 2023. So it's taken us a little over 2 years to get the project done. It's an actual historical renovation. Everything you see is to try to make it go back to 1887. So another old safe. This was the clerk of court safe. When you have to pay court costs, pay them to the clerk of courts. They actually were using this safe up until the day we moved out of the courthouse. And so we left it in the building. We thought it'd be kind of cool just to leave in the hallways. It's still absolutely functional, and they're not going to use it anymore, but it's totally functional. But this is the bell tower. You're standing directly under it when you're in here. That's going to be a stained glass opening. There's lights from above it that'll shine through, and it's pretty cool. Right above that is the stairs that head up into the bell tower. That's it.
My name's Chase Ben. I'm a Perry County Commissioner.
And how did you contribute to the remodeling of the courthouse?
So I was elected, my first day in term was January 3rd of this year, 2025. So I came on. I have a background in contracting, plumbing, excavating with my family before becoming a commissioner. So it was a good opportunity for me to bring some of my past, some of my skill set to the project. But to be honest, I work with a great board of commissioners. They had and commissioners before me as well that really put a ton of planning. They had really a good team approach to this with the courts, with the judges as well, that everybody has really come together, which is typical of Perry County. When I came in January, we have weekly OAC meetings, weekly walkthroughs, almost daily, in close coordination with the entire CK team and the board as well, that we really just had to have all hands on deck for, they did for probably a year prior to me coming on in terms of the project scope itself, but then once I was on, so yeah.
What's been your most favorite part that's been remodeled in the courthouse?
So with the courthouse, I love history, especially Perry County history, and especially loved, so when I came into office in January, all of the floors were covered. And so I had not been to the Perry County Courthouse, thank goodness, since 1998. And seeing the tile get restored like it has truly been beautiful, as well as some of the molding and the painting that they've done. That's been my favorite part of the project so far.
How do you think the remodeling of the courthouse will affect the community?
So with the community, I think this really puts Perry County on the map for somebody that has a beautiful courthouse that's owned by the people. That's essentially who owns this building. And like I said before, this is kind of a testament to the cultural heritage that we have. And so if you're doing any business in the courts or with the clerk of courts or anything that's going on, this really is a pinnacle of Perry County's pride, and it's going to be here for years to come. So I think it's going to be a great thing for the community.
Thank you for your time, and thank you for answering some questions.
I appreciate you guys being here today. Thank you.
Welcome.